Alright, so today we're going to go over oil, well, lubrication. People usually call this oiling or lubrication or however you want to term it, but we're going to go over what I use day to day, what I have, and the best practice right now that I know to be for how to oil and service watches. So initially I went out and I bought this from Amazon. It's a small little oiler's kit. It's nothing too fancy. It just comes with the basics: Moebius 9010, Moebius 9104, Moebius 9415, Moebius 8200, and Moebius THC7SC. So this was pretty cheap off of Amazon. It got me started. You could use this. It won't last you but a couple months, depending on how many watches you do. And then I went out and I got one of these, also off of Amazon. I super glued the holders in there so that I can just drop them in there as I need to. I wouldn't recommend not using the holders. I would absolutely recommend using the holders. And then these are Bergeon oiling needles, and I talked in my last video that these are just flat edged or flat tipped pieces of wire in a handle. All right, and you have different sizes and different applications. Bergeon is pretty standard, yellow being the biggest, green being second biggest, blue being second smallest, and then red being the smallest. I think they have a black one as well. I'm not 100% sure. And you may have noticed that the oils themselves or lubrication themselves are also colored. So I personally try to match up as best I can. You know, the red and the red, yellow and yellow, blue and blue. And then green is my other blue, but for it's 9501, and then I have a spare in case I need it. And then this right here is after you oil, you're gonna just clean it off. Some people use Rodico, some people use these, some people use both. Whatever you feel is best. Just make sure you do it every time. Some people do it before and after. But what it does is it takes the residual oiling off of the needle before you use it on the next one. So let's go over what the best use is. So 9010, that's your blue one here. Use it for high-speed load pivots. All right, so balance staff jewels, escape wheel pivots, pallet fork pivots, modern and fine Swiss movements. Minimal amount, so this one or this one. I've been using this one a lot more recently, so I would recommend start with this, and as you learn the proper amount of oiling, then you can move up to the other ones. But do not use 9010 on the center wheel or the barrel arbor. It is definitely the wrong oil for that. You need something that's more viscous. But yeah, the damage of over oiling is more significant than the damage from under oiling. You're going to damage them both, but if you over oil, it'll actually gum up the works, slow things down. It just overall is it's not recommended, because when you oil the top of a wheel, it'll, you know, go down the center wheel and hit all the teeth, and it's a mess, right? Okay, moving on. 9104, that's the red one. Used for medium speed, higher load pivots. So center wheels, third wheel pivots on large calibers, automatic framework pivots, keyless works pivots where sliding is minimal. Again, where sliding is minimal. This is the workhorse. This is what I use on most of them. It's this one and this one, honestly. If you don't really know what to put, because it kind of falls in both categories, go with 9104. 9415, that's the yellow one. Pallet fork impulse faces. Apply after escapement is assembled and verified clean. Just a little tiny microscopic dot on the escape wheel or escape pallet face, right? So let me get a pallet fork and I will show you this. Okay, I have a escape wheel on a pallet, so this isn't installed. We're just gonna for demonstration purposes. So this is your pallet fork, right? And those gems there, those jewels, are the pallet fork jewels. And you can see they're at different angles and tilted. You also have pivots on the top and the bottom. And this little trident here usually is in this configuration, so that the impulse jewel from the balance will sit right in that little bridle and kick it back and forth. And then it ticks the escape wheel. Let me focus here. Ticks the escape wheel and cycles it one turn. So, I mean, this escape wheel is actually, the pivot's broken on the top, so it doesn't mind this one. But getting to oiling, this is how you're going to do it, right? So we're going to move this from the equation for right now. You're going to take your smallest, so in this case red, you're going to get a little bit of, that's too much, just touch it, microscopic dot, there we go. So a little bit, that's even probably too much, but for demonstration purposes it'll work. It's going to be installed, so it wouldn't move, but it's going to move, so I'm going to hold it. And you're just going to touch it to the face, right? So this edge of the pallet jewel, you're going to touch it, just tap, whoop, just like that. And you see a little bit get on there. Then you're going to rotate the escape wheel 5 teeth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it will transfer this to the teeth of the escape. Why 5? Because there's 15, should be 15 teeth on here, and you do it 3 times, you get all the teeth. It's just an easy way to ensure that you have everything, right? So that is down and dirty explanation of how to use this lubricant, the 9415, the yellow stuff, right? And then, as I said before, after you're done with it, just go ahead and clean it off so there's no thing on there. Close that, put it away. All right. So that is the point of 9415. And again, it's just on the impulse jewels. They're really, I haven't used it for anything else, and it's only on the outside facing, or the one that the escape wheel clicks into as it's turning this way, right? What is that, clockwise? No pun intended. All right, let me put the escape wheel back where it goes. I have all my parts and pieces organized here by which watch they are. There we go. That was a Helbrose and a Madonna, by the way. Continuing on, we did 9010, 9104, 9415, 8200. So where's my 8200? Aha! 8200. Where are you at? Oh, there's 8200. I don't use it very often. 8200 is used for mainsprings. It's manual wind barrels on mainsprings. Light coating along the spring length. Wipe excess. You want lubrication, not hydraulic dampening. It's acceptable for light sliding steel on steel where grease is required, but drag must not stay low. So that's for the actual mainspring itself. I normally buy pre-lubricated mainsprings, so I don't use that very often. And then going on with the mainspring, right? With the mainspring, you're gonna get 8217. And then I wrote on there braking because it reminds me that it's used for automatic mainsprings with slipping bridle. Apply one to the barrel, one little small coat to the barrel wall. You want it just a little bit. You don't want to coat the entire inside of the main barrel, or the entire barrel. If the bridle slips, then you've got too much. It should allow it to frictionlessly catch in, and this stuff is pretty it's very pasty, right? So yeah, it will get everywhere. Just make sure that you pay attention to that. And then 9501 is used for keyless works. Where's my 9501? Bam! 9501, and it's also here. This is a thick blue, and I just grab a little bit from wherever. That's about all you need. I use that a lot for any time there's metal on metal. There we go. So 9501, keyless works and heavy sliding components. The setting lever, the yoke, the winding pinion, the clutch wheel teeth, sparingly or with a fine oiler. It stays put. It doesn't really move around a lot. As it's used, it will spread a little bit, but for the most part, it's thick and will just hold where it's at. 9504. Where are you at, 9504? I don't know where 9504 is. I don't have 9504 right now. Why'd I have that in my notes? 9504. Oh, 9504 is high pressure sliding and shock loaded parts. Barrel arbor shoulders, cam surfaces, chrono levers were specified. This is it's not a substitute for 9501 unless the load demands it. So it's an alternative to 9501, 9504. The other one that people like to use is this graphite lubrication. Use dry graphite only where oil or grease will attract dirt or cause drag. Traditional uses include some pocket watch keyless works, pendant setting parts, large steel sliding surfaces in exposed environments. You're going to apply a little bit, not a lot. If you put too much down, it'll turn it black and it will look horrible. There we go. There you go. You can read it right there. That says for oven rack lubrication. Ha! Well, we use it for wash repair. That's funny. I don't think I ever read that. And then I got this recommendation. Molykote is metal assembly paste. Some of the YouTube videos I watched when I was first getting going, and one of the books I read described this stuff as great for metal on metal, and it is just a silver gunmetal paste. Can't get some out here. Let me get some light. Let there be light. And all right, we're just gonna do it like this. Bam. It's just a paste, so it's a gray gunmetal. What is going on with the camera today? There, gray gunmetal paste. Now, here's the problem with this stuff. It doesn't come off. Once it's on, it is on. You gotta clean it excessively. So this is not that great, right? Use only during assembly, not as a running lubricant. Barrel arbor fitting press, steel on steel interfaces during test assembly, galling prevention. Clean off before final lubrication, unless the service manual explicitly allows it. This stuff is, it's gonna get all over and it's gonna be messy and it's gonna be hard to get off. You're gonna have to clean it and scrub it off. So I would use this exceptionally sparingly. As you can see, it's pretty much a full tube still. And that's really all the lubrication I have. To use these things, right? I'll use the bigger one. So we'll go with this one since I'm about to replace it. All you're gonna do, let me get some zoom going on here so you can actually see this. You're gonna just touch, right? And that's all you need. Now this is the largest of them, right? So you can see that when I touch, it transfers that little bit of oil right there, see? Right there. So that little bit of oil is really all you need, but that's a lot, right? So if I were to clean that up, we're gonna touch here, touch here. That's it, man. That's really all you need. And then again, clean it off, put it away, close that. And that is oiling in a nutshell. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment. If I missed anything, or you need me to go more in detail on anything that I have, please do comment. Let me know what I missed, how I missed it, and everybody's got an opinion about lubrication, so let's hear it. Moebius has best practices, the other brands have best practices, and I also recommend this. So it has a lot of great information in there. You can get it off of eBay for like 13 bucks, and it goes over so much, and I use it very frequently. It goes over where to oil, how to oil, like the center wheel, the third and fourth wheel. Gives you history. So this is a great read if you're interested in oiling, the history of the oiling, and best practices. And this is from 1995, so relatively recently in the watch world anyway. So again, if you liked what you saw, like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm just